In today's show, I'm going to be sharing with you a pristine pattern which suggests the Bitcoin price will see a colossal surge after the Bitcoin halving. Taking a look at this analysis from crypto analyst Alex Fiscum, who wrote, Bitcoin has printed a pristine 3-year symmetrical triangle pattern on the daily when removing wicks. Statistically, symmetrical triangle patterns break upwards 60% of the time, average breakout point at 73% of the way to the triangle apex, literally on the date of the halving. We'll be breaking this down for you in today's show. Also, in today's episode, the Pantera CEO of the largest cryptocurrency investment firm predicts that Bitcoin will boom to $115,212. He says that the crypto market will benefit from massive money printing. As you can check it out right here, here's what he said. The second halving decreased supply only 1/3 as much as the first. Very interestingly, it had exactly 1/3 of the price impact. Extrapolating this relationship to 2020, the reduction in supply is only 40% as great as in 2016. If this relationship holds, that would imply about 40% as much price impulse. Bitcoin would peak at $115,212 per Bitcoin. Now check this out. I realize that the price may sound ludicrous to some today, but $5,000 sounded equally ludicrous as our first written price forecast when we launched Pantera Bitcoin Fund at $65 per Bitcoin. I'll be giving you the full scoop here in today's show. Also, the Bitcoin price hits $9,000 as the US government asks for another $3 trillion in quantitative easing. We'll be giving you the full story here in today's show. We'll also be taking a look at the overall cryptocurrency market. As you can see, Bitcoin and some of the major cryptos are back in the green. Where's the Bitcoin price likely to go from here? Find out all this plus so much more in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day. So be sure to smash that subscribe button and click that bell icon to receive notifications of the latest premium crypto news. And before we kick off today's show, if interested in attending a free online event and Q&A session with Tika Tiwari, the #1 most trusted person in cryptocurrency, it's going down tomorrow, Wednesday, May 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern, entitled 5 Coins to 5 Million, Last Chance Until 2024. Discover a handful of tiny cryptocurrencies that can turn a $500 investment into $5 million. Thanks to a crypto market phenomenon you won't see again until 2024. To register and RSVP, click the link below this video in the description. All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV, and let's dive right into today's top story of the day. A pristine triangle pattern suggests that Bitcoin will see a colossal surge after the Bitcoin halving. Ahead of the Bitcoin block reward reduction or halving, Bitcoin has performed extremely well. As this outlet reported previously, the crypto just printed its 7th consecutive week of gains. This is a technical feat last seen in April of 2019. Prior to the 300% bull market of that year, calls have been mounting for Bitcoin to pull back, with Bloomberg writing how the asset is overextended to the upside. Yet a pristine chart pattern predicts a massive breakout on the date of the halving. You heard me correct. On the date of the halving, which is estimated to be in 6 days, 15 hours, 28 minutes, and 30 seconds away. Are you ready? That's the only question. To many, Bitcoin's price action over the past few years has been sporadic. Yet according to a new analysis by Alex Fiscum, a global macro investor based in Hong Kong, the cryptocurrency's price action ever since the 2017 bull market has fit into a textbook chart pattern of pristine 3-year symmetrical triangle. As Investopedia describes, a symmetrical triangle are patterns marked by 2 similarly sloped converging trend lines that eventually meet at an apex. An asset trading in such a triangle bounces between the trend lines until a breakout, as we can see right here in this graph, brought to you by Investopedia. Symmetrical triangles are decisively bullish. Fiscum wrote that they resolve upward only 60% of the time, far from a decisively bullish strike rate. Bitcoin's current triangle, one of the most important long-term patterns, is shaping up to be rather positive though. Fiscum indicated that chances are, due to the fact that Bitcoin is nearing its apex and is at the top of the triangle, that the crypto has a high chance of breaking above this textbook pattern. Now add the fact that Bitcoin block reward halving is apparently arriving at the exact time that the crypto is expected to interact with the triangle, and you have a recipe for a massive breakout. That's right. In about 6 days, this formation is looming. So check it out. He indicated this scenario, as you can see right here in this chart, as this triangle that Bitcoin is trading in is extremely long term and covers a big price range. The breakout should be explosive and will likely catapult towards the $20,000 highs as Fiscum depicted. And let's take a look at his tweet here. Bitcoin has printed a pristine 3-year symmetrical triangle pattern on the daily when removing wicks. Statistically, symmetrical triangle patterns break upward 60% of the time. The average breakout point at 73% of the way of the triangle to the apex, literally on the date of the halving. Can't get any more bullish than that. Now, the fundamentals are equally as bullish, as I covered also in yesterday's episode. Equally as bullish are the fundamental trends. The Federal Reserve just committed to even more money printing in the weeks ahead, which is a pretty big deal. More quantitative easing. In a statement last Wednesday, Jerome Powell, chairman of the Fed, warned that the U.S. economy is currently in its worst rut in history due to the outbreak of the plandemic COVID-19. Yes, I said it. It is a plandemic. Do your research. Here's what he's quoted saying. We are going to see economic data for the second quarter that is worse than any data we've seen for the economy. There are direct consequences of the disease and measures we are taking to protect ourselves from it. Now, in response, the leader of the world's largest central bank added that the Fed will continue to keep interest rates low, to keep creating capital facilities, and to keep injecting liquidity into the cogs of the global economy. Analysts expect for this money printing to boost the value, both intrinsically and actually, of the scarce Bitcoin. I'm in agreement of this 100%. The more quantitative easing, the more trillions of dollars the governments print out of thin air, the more likely people are going to hedge their bets against the dollar and invest into cryptocurrency, because there is no inflation with Bitcoin, because every 4 years the block reward gets cut in half and it becomes more scarce to mine. It is what it is. This creates more demand. It's all about supply and demand here with Bitcoin. Add to the fact that Bitcoin's inflation rate will be cut in half with the halving, while the amount of fiat money increases and increases and increases. Analysts say you have the recipe for success. So this is very bullish news for Bitcoin. And now for our next story of the day. Pantera CEO of the largest cryptocurrency investment firm predicts that the Bitcoin price will boom to $115,000. He says that the crypto market will benefit from massive money printing. Let's break it down. CEO of one of the largest crypto investment firms says he believes Bitcoin's on the verge of a long-term rally to more than $100,000. In a new letter to investors, Dan Morehead says he believes that the governments increasingly print money to prop up their economics. The contrast between fiat and crypto with fixed supplies will become increasingly apparent. Here's what he's quoted saying: "This is really distressing, massively confusing time. I have no idea what's going to happen in 99% of things right now. However, I strongly believe it's close to inevitable that this will be a very positive thing for cryptocurrency prices. My kids used to count to 100, 1, 2, skip a few, 100. It feels like we're doing that on quantitative easing. Quantitative easing 1, quantitative easing 2, skip a few, 100. As quantitative easing approaches infinity, it simply has to have an impact on things whose quantity can't be eased." As for Bitcoin, Morehead points to the halving, which will reduce the new supply of Bitcoin in about a week, as a key factor that will drive a new bull run. Here's what he said: "Although there are only a couple of data points, and with the caveat that the past doesn't predict the future, but sometimes it does rhyme. In fact, oftentimes it rhymes. Halvings have coincided with increases in price due to the perceived and/or real scarcity of supply. The second halving decreased supply only 1/3 as much as the first. Very interestingly, it had exactly 1/3 the price impact. Extrapolating this relationship to 2020, the reduction in supply is only 40% as great as in 2016. If this relationship holds, that would imply about 40% as much price impulse. Bitcoin would peak at $115,212 per Bitcoin. I realize that price may sound ludicrous to some today, but 5,000 sounded equally ludicrous as our first written price forecast when we launched Pantera Bitcoin Fund at $65 per Bitcoin. Facts. There's no denying it. Let me know if you're bullish leading into the Bitcoin halving. I know I am extremely bullish. And now let's check out our next story of the day. Bitcoin price hits 9K as the US government asks for another $3 trillion. But before we dissect this, let's actually take a look at the overall cryptocurrency market. As we can see, Bitcoin is up 0.88% for the day, trading at $8,857. Ethereum down 0.47%, trading at $203. Bitcoin Cash down 0.7%, trading at $243. Satoshi Vision up 1%, trading at $205. BNB barely up, trading at $16.83. EOS down 0.5%, trading at $2.74. And Miss Litecoin down 1%, trading at $46. Yesterday, late last night before going to bed, actually around 1 a.m., I saw Bitcoin surge to 9,000, and then it reconsolidated to where we're currently at. Now let's take a look at some of the top exchanges. Binance is down 1% in volume with 6.8 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. OKEX is up 4% with 3.3 billion in volume, and BitMEX is down 7% with $2.8 billion in volume. All right, now for our last story of the day. On May 5th, which is actually yesterday, the Bitcoin price recovered a significant portion of its losses from Sunday's weekly close correction, and data from Cointelegraph Markets and CoinMarketCap show that within the last hour, the digital asset crossed above the $9,000 mark again. Woohoo! Despite correcting to 8,500 on Sunday, Bitcoin price quickly rebounded and found support in the 8,700 to 8,850 range before spending the majority of Monday consolidating in this zone. Interestingly, Bitcoin's quick recovery to its previous trading range occurs as modeling from the U.S. Center of Disease Control and Prevention expects that a rising rate of COVID-19 infections will lead to 134,000 deaths in the U.S. by June 1st. This comes as many states execute plans that allow people to return to work in an effort to revive the economy. I also want to point out here, most of the statistics they've been reporting are doctored, meaning they're fake. They're pretending people are dying from an virus, which we haven't even isolated to even prove that it exists, right? They're doing tests. A lot of people are testing positive. People are dying of respiratory illnesses, pre-existing conditions. Some of them already had 3, 4, 5 conditions, but they're labeling it COVID-19 on the death certificate. Things that make you go, and I'll just leave it at that. Further bearish news for the markets came as the markets closed today when the Treasury Department announced that its plans to borrow $3 trillion this quarter, bringing the total U.S. debt closer to $25 trillion. Let's just stop right there. I can only imagine, what is $1 trillion? A lot of freaking money. To be $25 trillion in debt and to continue printing money in the name of quantitative easing, this is extremely bullish for cryptocurrency. I'm just telling you right now. Currently, more than 30 million Americans have filed for unemployment. Holy cow. 30 million in America alone unemployed, and a government-supported program designed to provide financial assistance to small businesses expended all allocated funds within the first few days of rolling out. And I'll tell you why this is so critically important. When we become dependent upon government, our freedoms and liberties get taken away. That's a fact, right? I'm not arguing with nobody. Given the recent correlation between traditional and crypto markets, all of these factors should negatively impact crypto prices, but at the moment, this is clearly not the case with Bitcoin. Right now, the Bitcoin bulls are targeting 9,500. I feel if we break that, we can move on back up to 10,000 and above, which is a critical psychological resistance. In the 4-hour time frame, traders will notice that Bitcoin had been in a long day struggle to maintain above the 20 moving average, and the price was pinched between 8,700 and 8,550. There are now 2 high volume nodes on the volume profile visible range. The hourly time frame show that the price has already rejected 3 times at 8,950, and a move above 8,970 was crucial for gains above 9,000. Within the last hour, Bitcoin broke above this resistance. This was actually going back a few hours ago, just FYI, allowing the price to rise to 9,100 in an attempt to knock out resistance at 9,130. Above 9,140, traders will target 9,440 and $9,600 collectively. The 4-hour chart shows that the MACD is on the verge of converging with a single line, and over the past 8 hours, the RSI has shifted from 47 into bullish territory at 60. On the hourly chart, which we can see right down below, traders will note that profit taken is occurring as demonstrated by the long upper wicks of the last 2 candles, along with the rise of selling volume sloping RSI and CMF. As the current 1-hour candles on the verge of closing. Traders should keep an eye on the volume to see if momentum wanes and the price drops below 9,000, or whether Bitcoin price can push above the resistance zone from 9140 to 9200. As stated in multiple analyses, the key area to break for a continuation of an uptrend is $9,500 to $9,600. Now let's take a look at the overall cryptocurrency market cap. We're sitting just under $250 billion at $247.5 billion, with $152 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, and the current BTC dominance is 66.1%. Now taking a look at the top gainers within the top 100, we have Hyperon up 25%, trading at 68 cents. Unibright up 23%, trading at 30 cents. BBC coin up 21%, trading at 13 cents. Streamer Data coin up 20%, trading at 8 cents. Aave up 19%, trading at 4.6 cents. And Digibyte, go Digi, up 18%, trading at 2 cents. And now for the biggest losers within the top 100 in the past 24 hours, we have Maker down 4.5%, trading at $342. We have Holo down 3.5%, trading at 0.0005. We have Verge down 1.6%, trading at 0.003. Hedera Hashgraph down 1.4%, trading at 3 cents. We have Nano down 1%, trading at 62 cents, and Pax Gold down 0.7%, trading at $1,700.11. And if we continue scrolling down, these are not too bad of losses. In fact, 80% of the market within the top 100 is actually in the green. So this is actually pretty good for the crypto market right now. Taking a look at the BitMEX margins, which is the largest exchange in the world, derivatives exchange that is, we can see that longs are leading with 36 million in superiority in the last 24 hours, with longs leading 50.78% versus 49.22% shorts. Are you currently bullish or bearish? Drop me a comment and let me know right down below. And now checking out one of my favorite indicators is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. It shows we're currently rated a 40 in fear, yesterday a 44 in fear, last week a 26 in fear, and last month a 22 in extreme fear. Let's also keep in mind we've been stuck in extreme fear and fear for several months now, but it looks like we're moving out of it, and before you know it, we'll be back neutral, just my 2 Satoshis. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign that investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. Now let's take a look at the Bitcoin block reward halving countdown. Once again, we have 6 days, 15 hours, 9 minutes, and 56 seconds remaining. But who's counting? This guy right here. I count down every day on the show to help bring awareness to this infamous event, which only occurs approximately every 4 years. The estimated date for the Bitcoin halving is set to be May 12th. This could change. It all depends upon the block. Also want to point out, Tika Twari talks about the Bitcoin halving. He refers to this as the phenomenon, but it's 2 factors, not just one. We're talking a Bitcoin halving mixed with massive institutional demand in the market. When these 2 factors combine, we see a parabolic rise in the Bitcoin price, which typically happens 1 year after the halving itself. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. My 2 Satoshis, I feel that Bitcoin is going to retest all-time highs later this year, but let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below. And I want to encourage you to check out the description right below this video by clicking show more in the description right down below for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the market. This goes for all 400 plus videos right here on my channel. Also have some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including the blog to my podcast, which could be found at cryptonewsyes.com. Here on the blog, you can download the latest episode of the show every day in MP3 format, so you can listen to it on the go, working out, on your way to work, etc. Also, be sure to subscribe on YouTube. If you haven't yet already done so, you can do it directly by clicking the subscribe button right below this video or going to cryptonewsalerts.net, and it will automatically subscribe you to the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated, and it helps out tremendously. Also, whichever podcasting platform you're active on, including Apple's iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, please help support the show. It helps out tremendously. You can also follow us on Twitter to receive daily crypto news alerts. My Twitter handle is Crypto News Yes, and I also have a private crypto Facebook group entitled Crypto Alchemy with over 17,000 cryptopreneurs from all over the world. To become a part of this, simply click this link, request to join. I'll be sure to plug you in. And I also have a crypto private Telegram chat I am very active on. To become a part of this and plug in, simply click this link from a mobile device and you'll automatically be added, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you on the inside. Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto revolution. If you gain value out of today's show, be sure to smash that subscribe button and click that bell icon to receive notifications of the latest premium crypto news. And real quick before I go, if interested in attending this free online event and Q&A session this Wednesday, tomorrow, May 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern with the one and only Tika Tawari, the #1 most trusted person in cryptocurrency, entitled 5 Coins to 5 Million, Last Chance Until 2024, for your chance to discover a handful of tiny cryptocurrencies that can turn $500 into 5 million thanks to a crypto market phenomenon you won't see again until 2024. To register RSVP, click the link below this video in the description. It'll take you here. Simply enter your favorite email address to register, and I look forward to seeing you at that live event, and I'll catch you on tomorrow's episode. Peace.